Hi, Aditya. How are you?
Hi Shubham, I'm good. How are you?
Perfect. I'm good as well. So, firstly, before I start the introduction and all, firstly, I'd like to thank Aditya because today is his birthday and he's there to help me record the video. And we've tried recording already the same. For some reasons, I couldn't upload it on the last Sunday. But yes, he's again here, again helping me with the video and the complete process. Yes. So before again I introduce another thing, I would like to tell that he and I were just talking, and he just helped some other people as well. We'll talk about that later in the video. But yes, he's done things already before even we could record the video. So yes, today we have Aditya Pandita on the call. He's in BrowserStack as of now. I know him from the school only, KC Public School. He's also been in Jammu. Till 12th, we were in we played in the same background. And, yeah, after we parted ways for our engineering in Mumbai only, and also in the same department, but different colleges. And since then, he switched two jobs. BrowserStack is his second job, as far as, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I think that's it from my end. So Aditya, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. As Shubham has given my introduction, so we have been friends since a long time, and we have enjoyed our time together. So we went to Bombay after our high school and completed our graduation. Engineering to be specific. So yeah, after that, I happened to join a firm which was formerly called as Endurance, and right now it is acquired by some other organization, and now it is known as New Full Digital. So yeah, I worked there for 1.5 year. 1.5 year. Yeah, exactly. So there were some reasons of me switching the job, so we'll get to that. So from I'd like to start in a proper format. So if I talk about my engineering days, so I had done two internships. One was related to our branch. We both are from EXTC, so it was from BSNL, and it was more related to networking part. So mobile communications and all that things, networking. So yeah, it didn't help me earlier with the job prospects, but technically speaking, we are moving towards cloud and all. So if networking and infrastructure services helps a lot, so it didn't help me earlier, but it is now helping me somehow to understand the pattern. And so I got hired with Endurance, and I worked for 1.5 year, and then I switched to BrowserStack. I'm currently working with BrowserStack. So this is kind of an overview. So yeah.
Perfect. So before I move to my first question, Aditya, I'll actually want to tell people why these kind of interviews are important for me, because this is moving from one firm to the other and not from getting campus hired. So we both understand getting campus hired is a relatively easier task, but when we talk about actually applying from one job to other, I think it gets pretty tough comparatively. So
Exactly. I would really agree with that because, I actually know the reason why you're doing this, and I really appreciate your efforts. So that's why, I tend to, be very keen for coming on call and getting along because it is really for a good cause. And coming to the point, it is actually very difficult comparatively because, so see, if you have referrals and if you have contacts, it's pretty easy if your profile is matching. But sometimes it really gets difficult if you are actually going out and trying to apply for different jobs, because I was not knowing anybody, and I was actually not having any kind of a person who would refer me. So I found it really easy to get into a firm when I was in the college, because that is kind of a responsibility of the TPO. So they help you a lot with that, and it is kind of a college reputation which helps you get into the organization. But moving on, after 1.5 year, when I realized I need to move on, so I applied to a lot of companies. So BrowserStack was not the first company which I applied to. I was not getting interview calls because of obvious reasons. A lot of people are applying. Somewhere your profile doesn't match, somewhere you don't, I mean, give your 100%. So yeah, so I was not getting the, I mean, calls. But uh, it was a persistent effort for, I think, 1.5 month, because I really wanted to get into something, I mean, learning, in the learning perspective. So applied and tried a lot. After 2 3 interviews, I, happened to get into this organization. So yeah, to be specific to your question, it is pretty difficult to, I mean, get into a job when you're going offline,
Correct.
off campus.
Correct. Perfect. Aditya, I mean, I'll move to my question that could you please help us with your interview experience? Because we want to understand that how was your journey with regards to the process that you were involved in, let's say BrowserStack and the previous firm as well. So could you please help us with your experience?
Yeah, so when actually I went for the campus interview with my first organization, it was more so they actually, every company hires as per the requirement. So, but in the campus placements, it's pretty, I mean, on the same page. I mean, people are on the same page because the first round is the aptitude round. So that is pretty similar for all the companies, mostly when we are, applying from the college. So after the aptitude round, when I cleared that, we had a group discussion, and again, that is almost the similar thing. So after the group discussion, we had two technical rounds, which were pretty focused on networking aspect. And in coding, I mean, it was not, the emphasis was not put on the coding part, but they were actually checking that as well. So for mostly about the front end technologies, the basics of JavaScript and the HTML, CSS, because that is required when you want to debug issues for developer using developer tools, or I mean, any kind of issue you want to debug on a website. Or so because my company used to deal with the hosting, I mean, hosting servers, right, and domain services, all the services which are required and related to the internet technology, for example SSL, and the in-house tools which are provided by the company. So yeah, so I mean, they were putting emphasis on that. So it was pretty much about the networking part. In networking, it was, I mean, in-depth questions, but and about the front-end technologies, it was pretty straightforward. And this was about, I mean, this was split actually in two technical rounds. And the second round was, added with the behavioral questions, situation based questions, like how would you react in this situation and that. So you have to be pretty, I mean, organization focused, and you have to just try to resolve the problem. I think that's enough to get through that round. And after that, we had the HR round. That was about the first company.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So
Just to, sorry to interrupt, Aditya. Actually, while you were mentioning the first company's part, so you mentioned about those in-house applications. So,
yeah,
I mean, see, I mean, I've not been a part of, working on in-house applications as such to a huge extent. But as per my understanding, uh, those in-house applications are specific to some firms that you are into. It's as the name says, in-house. So it's been developed within the firm. So what's your thought process on those in-house applications? Because people might be switching gears, shifting to other firms, and
yeah,
they might, as
yeah.
per my understanding, they might not get any relevant experience with regards to that. So what's your thought process on those?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the fact that in-house tools, I mean, it's a kind of a thing that is restricted to the organization. So to in my case, we had some applications which are accepted worldwide. I mean, SSL is used by every website, but there were a few tools. For example, if you want to take a database backup or something like that, so there is a tool called CodeGuard, or there's a security tool called SiteLock. So these functionalities were actually, these products were used by our business partners. So if there was any problem, because the job was a kind of a support job, mixed with a QA thing, and you need to contact, I mean, get in touch with developers and inter-team conversations to resolve the issues.
Mhm.
So yeah, so it is, the scope is limited, but I mean, I had a few tools which were used, which were not in-house and used worldwide, but there was definitely there were 30 to 40% of tools which are actually limited to that organization. I mean, I'm not sure, pretty sure that there might not be a lot of companies which are using those tools, because these are like, some tools are customer based. A person would want a database backup and you use a code guard, so not an organization would prefer to use that tool, right? So it would not help in that case, definitely. So all in all, you should always try to focus on those roles which would, I'm not saying this is bad, but definitely it would, if you focus on the roles which are based on the technologies which are um, you know
Publicly
uh,
available.
publicly available, yeah, tools and technologies or programming languages or something that would help you in get into other organization, that would be really helpful.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And your with regards to the BrowserStack interview experience.
Yeah. So coming to that, actually, yeah. So in that, I would not deny that my previous experience helped me a lot. So I'm grateful for that part as well. So, we have both sides of everything. So there was a time when I thought, yeah, I should, learn more things and get moving. Due to certain reasons, it was getting a bit monotonous. So, uh, everything is a positive, but yeah, sometimes you need to move on in terms of learning things. So
Correct.
yeah, I applied and I got the interview call. So I mean, the first being being from the experienced, I mean, scenario, when I applied for the organization, so they actually tend to focus on the aptitude part is not done. So the first interview was actually a telephonic call. They try to gauge the knowledge of the person, even if that person is eligible for interviewing with us, because not every experienced person would align with their role.
Okay.
So the most important thing I would say about switching jobs, or I mean, the major aspect of our topic today is that we are switching to the other job. I mean, so that is the thing. You need to be. You need to add value and you need to bring something to the table that would really help because they want to hire you, right? That is why they're
Correct.
interviewing.
Correct.
But again, if we are not, I mean, giving them something they don't want,
Mhm.
then it won't work, right? So it is a give and take. You are, I mean, so yeah, you should actually try to focus on the requirements, and as per that you should apply. So they actually took a telephonic interview and I explained them everything, and they asked a few questions. It was not that technical, but yeah, they tried to gauge my overall knowledge. What am I actually doing and how can I bring value to them? So yeah, after that there were, I think, yeah, there were two technical rounds with BrowserStack, and after that there was the HR round. And in technical round, actually I was given an assignment after the telephonic call, and I was told to study about the technologies as well, which are provided by BrowserStack.
Okay.
So I have actually, I mean, I got in touch with some people and referred them as well. So the same process was done with them as well, because they want to actually know that how you can, I mean, gel well with the technologies. And so I studied them, and so in the first round I was asked about my previous role and the networking part, right? And again, the troubleshooting thing about how can I debug issues, and I was given scenario based questions because it is kind of a QA role. So yeah, so once that was done, in the second interview I was asked about the in depth about the technologies what BrowserStack provides, the networking part mostly, because our job is actually to install the BrowserStack cloud into the client's local infrastructure, right? So we actually work around that. Our work revolves around that. If there is any kind of issue that comes, we need to troubleshoot. It might be related to the BrowserStack cloud, to our I mean, business logic, to any kind of a proxy, to the any kind of issue with the local network of the client. This is actually a gist of the role. So yeah, they actually checked that, and post that we had the, I mean, HR interview, and all of that was done virtually. And now we are remote, so I'm pretty glad.
Perfect. 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 I mean, actually, I hope that the pandemic ends pretty soon and we are back to the offices, because I've been sitting for a long time since this pandemic started at home only. But yeah, I mean, at least we get good food at home. That's the point.
Yeah, and we have being from other state. I
Yes.
mean, you can relate.
Yes.
We have to, I mean, cut down our expenses. So
Exactly.
yeah, it works.
So, I mean, firstly, as we talked about, you didn't have any referrals while you were getting into BrowserStack. So, one, the referral part, was there anything else also that, you feel would have smoothened the process that you were involved in? Because, I mean, I understand that you anyways got the job and you're in the firm now. So did you ever feel like, okay, if this would have been, I would have gotten this one thing right. So that would have been added advantage for me to smoothen the process, or, just, I mean, boost the process.
Yeah. So definitely, actually, I actually had one post in my mind back at that point, and that is related to the automation part. We actually have two teams internally, and so talking about that, if I actually wanted to add some skills, but I was not aware about that because I didn't have any, friends or referrals over there, so I was not aware of that. So if definitely I would have added those, I mean, automation technologies or frameworks to my resume, that would have really boosted it, and I would even have landed up directly into the automate part. But it's okay. It's a learning process, and that is what I was mentioning earlier, that having people in your network or having networking and knowing people from any organization really helps. And it's I think, I mean, it's a 2-minute job, but trust me, it has a lot of importance because it all starts with a reference. Because at first they can refer you, but then after that they can really help you a lot by knowing what is the requirement, because it's all about requirement and understanding the requirement. You are applying to a post. I mean, if you are able to understand what is the requirement, then you can definitely answer the questions in that perspective. So they also get that click, that you
Correct.
are actually having that understanding that we need this, and you are actually, I mean, walking on that way,
Correct.
right? So that is where it helps actually. And also, I mean, you get a, I mean, better recognition as compared to the other organization, I mean, other applications. I had to apply offline, so it took them a while to actually get back to me, pretty long compared to if I was
Yes.
referred by a person. So that definitely helps, and that is why I really appreciate if you are, I mean, if you are able to help a single person as well, then it would really make sense.
Yeah, I mean, so but the thing is, when we talk about FL, so I don't think it's just about putting some other person's resume in the kitty of the company or in the portal. I think after that, if they get, let's say, an interview call, we can share our experiences, how the process was at our place, so that, they get an idea. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not just the referral part. After that, he or she can have a conversation with people who are in the firm who had their interview, so that the person is also able to streamline his or her process. So
Definitely, you should just know the question you want to ask. That's about. You just need to. I mean, yeah. I mean, people actually. You just need to reach out, man. That's it. I mean,
correct.
people sometimes hesitate to ask. I have been through that phase, but it's all about learning new things and growing. And I mean, sharing knowledge is the only way we can learn. So
Correct.
yeah.
So I mean, actually, Aditya, I'll want to just add one another question before I move to my last question. So you interviewed, I mean, you helped people get their interviews. So how was the
I
process? So,
entertain
I mean,
as well.
I mean, so because I mean, you could have helped them for the mock interviews or something like that, because now you're in the firm. So as per your experience now that you help people already, so how was that experience, and I mean, how did it end up? Because I understand from you that they were hired in the firm, and I mean, I saw one of the posts as well. There was one person who wrote your name on the post, on the LinkedIn post, so which is a great thing. So any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so most of the work is done behind the camera. So so yeah, so I mean, yeah, he mentioned, and I'm pretty grateful for that. It was a great gesture. But yeah, I mean, I mean, tried to help a lot of people. Rest is, I mean, their effort, and because they, I mean, if I'm referring someone, we both have a same goal, right? I
Correct.
mean, I believe in a fact that if I'm able to help someone, right, I would get help from somewhere,
Correct.
right? I mean, I'm not a guy who's having 20 years experience down the line and who doesn't want to even grow. So it's always, I mean, if you give back, if you are helping people out, then you will get help. I mean, it's the circle, right? So yeah, I mean, I've gone and I've helped people, and I've tried to give my best. That's I mean, I've tried to tell them about how to prepare, and learn from my mistakes, at least for this part, because I mean, I have not conquered everything so that I can tell people about everything. Even I am learning. We are still, I mean, just 2.5 years experienced people. So yeah, I've tried to tell them as much as I can. Some people were able to make it, and some people unfortunately were not. And but yeah, I always say the thing that, you know, you will get even a better opportunity. So yeah, if they even, I mean, reach out and they want to ask something, then it is not a problem to answer that question. I mean, as far as I know the answer to it, I would definitely try to answer that.
Correct.
So I think, yeah, it would work pretty much for people if they want to actually post referral as well. They want to get in touch, ask about something, discuss about the practice questions. I've got a chance to interview some people as well, for our L1 post. So definitely the people, the ones which I haven't referred. Yeah. So yeah, it is pretty smooth, I believe. I mean, organization is also pretty, I mean, you know, positive towards hiring people.
Correct.
um when it is a requirement, definitely. I mean, if it is not required, then it would be difficult. But yeah, it is, people are actually pretty helpful.
I think if I upload this video and people would hear that you are also hiring. I mean, you are also interviewing. So I think you'll get like connection requests, if I'm not mistaken, just to the fact that you are interviewing people already at this point in time.
Yeah, there
So
was some internal, I mean, there were some internal requirements actually. So we joined, I mean, it has not been a long time I have joined this organization, and I'm not having that long experience or something. But so that is what is best about this organization. Actually, you get credit on your performance and on your caliber. So it doesn't matter if you are new to the organization or so that is what shows the culture, right?
correct.
So yeah, if you are doing your part, then you will get the opportunities. So yeah, that's about it.
Perfect. Yeah, so I mean, coming to my last question, Aditya. So, could you please, because I mean, I'll be sharing your LinkedIn profile in the description section of the video. So,
Mhm.
if anyone has any queries and they would want to get any referral, could you help me with the referral so that people are, because the thing is, again, you have had this experience of applying without referral, and you know the value of a referral. So, could you please help me with that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I said, I already mentioned that you are doing it for a great cause, and I actually know the reason behind that. So yeah, man, why not? Definitely. And always up for helping. And I mean, I just said that, you know, I believe in the fact if I am able to help someone, then I would get help from someone. So yeah, definitely, definitely just reach out to me. If it is in my scope, I would definitely help. I would not say that I am the guy who would, change someone's life and do something, because I'm not, I'm just a, you know, I'm just in a learning process. I'm just trying to give my best. So yeah, if anyone reaches out to me, I'll definitely try to help them. And if there is some availability or some relevance to the post, definitely I'll refer and just reach out to me. No problem.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Aditya. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, happy birthday to you, and thank you so much for recording this video today on your birthday.
No worries. Or anytime, bro. Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.